one of the lowest rated Raws since 1997. It got a 2.1, and I wrote down I think one thing told me that was the lowest rated Raw since September 22nd, 1997. So that's ridiculous. That's 17 years. The highest rated Raw between that period of time was 1999, and they opened with Billy Gunn and Kane, which is not a very strong opener, but then they closed with Vince McMahon, The Rock, and Stone Cold versus Shane McMahon, Triple H, and Undertaker with HBK as the special guest referee in his famous booty short moment.
So what was going wrong around that time? Was it just because of WCW? It was kicking their ass?
What was going wrong?
Yeah, what was going wrong?
No.
That Raw to be that low.
No, that moment that I just named, that was the highest rated Raw.
That
got an 8.1, which is like what NFL does nowadays. That's like ridiculously high.
Yeah. But what was the lowest one?
The lowest one, I was trying to look up results for that, but it got convoluted to which one was the lowest one, but it seemed like around September 1997, that's when it was that low. And since then, it's been going up and then kind of trickling down.
Because WCW was kicking their ass, right?
WCW was kicking their ass, but then, right around 97 with, like Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon, and then, like, I would say the undercard really developing with the Nation Domination, with The Rock coming up and things like that. Just shot to the moon, pretty much. Mankind.
I guess the question I'm asking is, the card
in 1997. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Really, I couldn't. I don't know. But
I think it was WCW kicking their ass.
Well, yeah, but no. Well, wrestling really hadn't, like, in the 80s and stuff. Sure, but like for a while, wrestling had died down to that kind of low number. Like the New Generation era. It was real low. If you watch the first Raws from the first few years,
because
well, I was gonna say it's in arenas that are like 5,000, like and then it got brought up in 1997 in this the Attitude Era, the Raw is War era, and it went to the big what we see now, like the big mega screen, and it peaked for tons of reasons. But now it's been trickling down, and now it's back. Even though it's got the same production, it's got the same bells and whistles, but like as far as viewers, it's back to that New Generation era.
Because I was asking, New Generation. I see what you're saying. I see exactly what you're saying. The guys got to catch on, and the people. Exactly.
That is very indicative. I didn't even think about that, but that is very indicative of what they're doing now. This is kind of like the new Generation era.
Yeah, because nobody's catching on. No one's. I remember. This is when I was talking about it again. This is what happened almost a year ago, and it was the Sprint halftime report. And it was right around the time where the RKO out of nowhere vines were getting hot.
Yeah.
And it actually made when Shaq fell, like there was a big spot where Shaq is going to race Kenny to the to the big screen, and he trips over the cables under his desk, and he falls like hell, right? So someone made a RKO out of nowhere to Shaq falling.
Sure, yeah.
Kenny Smith sees it. He turns to it. He's like, who's that? Who did he say it was? He says the wrong person. Like, clearly, he's like, who is that, Macho Man or something? Like, just clearly says the wrong person. Where it looked like a moment where, the idea of the crossover to mainstream. Has this really actually crossed over to mainstream? And for him to say the wrong wrestler goes to show how it hasn't really crossed over. The Phenom and how funny that moment was versus the wrestler in question hadn't caught on.
Sure.
And I just said, oh, man, they dropped the ball. That was a big opportunity for Randy Orton,
Oh, yeah. But I was going to, if you look at, how they did this Raw, where they just threw everything out there at once to kick it off.
Oh, God.
The highest rated Raw ever started off with Kane versus Billy Gunn. And I'm not talking about a promo and then the first match was Kane versus Billy Gunn. The opening segment happened. The opening, monologue, I think at the time it was like Stone Cold walking and then, broken glass and shit. You know what I'm talking about, like the opening, what's it called, like the theme song of Raw happened, and then Kane came out, Billy Gunn came out, but it ended big, where I think this Raw started bigger than you could think of in a very, very convoluted way. It had 16 guys out there for the opening segment of Raw.
The only thing that impressed me about this opening was the fact that whenever Sheamus was like, "We're 4 dominant motherfuckers," and then you get that, and then the Wyatt showed up. I was like, a curveball. All right, I'm down. I mean, like, just for something, just give me something like to sink my teeth into. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. Where are we going with this? And then when everyone else started coming out, I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
And then going to the match itself, too.
Yeah, what happened? Yeah, League of Nations was out there. Then the Wyatt showed up. Dudley Boys with Tommy Dreamer came out. I thought it was funny that Tommy Dreamer had his dusty tights.
I saw that. He was half dusty.
Yeah, that was cool. And then they announced it.
Because he's Tommy Dreamer. Get it? American Dream.
Ah, yeah, this is true. And then they announced that they had another guy with him because Bray kind of gave him shit for being outmanned. And then Rhino came out. So
popped.
He must be a fan of the podcast because he had a full beard where usually he just has a little goatee.
Oh, yeah, man. He watches the show. I bet he does.
For sure.
Rhino, what's up, dude? I know you listen.
Rhino.
Hey, shout out, Rhino. Yo, we do lunch next week, all right?
Hell yeah.
You're going to eat a lot. I'm not going to pay.
You'll pick up the tab.
Nah, yeah, you'll pick up the tab.
And then Roman and Dean with the Usos came out.
I popped, though. What was your response when he came out?
When Rhino came out?
Yeah, like, how did you feel?
I knew it was going to happen.
You knew it?
Yeah, NXT. He was already affiliated with NXT.
But you knew that was going to happen?
Rhino?
Yeah.
Well, I knew that the Wyatt family had 4, and I knew it was either probably going to be another ECW guy, and I was thinking, who have they worked with lately? It's either going to be RVD or Rhino. So, I mean...
So you weren't like, oh, that's cool, man. Like, Rhino, he's worked his way back into the good graces enough to be on the main roster.
No. Pop, no. Do I think it's cool? Yeah. Like, I like that it's Rhino. I think it's cool. And I think I like what he tried to do. I'm always impressed by the longevity of Rhino's career. He was originally, he started out as really like a, like a rookie kind of a deal in ECW. Not, I'm sure he was not obviously a rookie. But I feel like they definitely pushed him. He was kind of like their Roman Reigns, and I think they showed that a lot. And then he, went to WWE because of the invasion angle and everything. And or I think he was there a little bit beforehand. And then, he left, went to TNA, showed up at Ring of Honor, then showed up on NXT, and now he's convolutedly back on Raw. This is
he's gonna be short-lived.
Sure, but this is an insane. I
think it's pretty cool.
I've always been impressed by how he can do what he does. He's everywhere.
The only thing he's done is gotten kind of thicker. He hasn't really grown older. Yeah. I was watching the network looking for Kurt Angle matches, and the Raw came up. I forgot which Raw it was, but he was in that Raw, and he looked the same.
Yeah,
he was just thinner, just a little thinner. That's all. But that motherfucker, yeah, he doesn't age. He ages pretty well, basically. And here's the thing. And then I knew it was going to be something weird when the Rainmen show up. Now, everyone wants to call it everyone wants to call it the Roman Empire. It's like, no.
Well, they already got the shirts, I guess. It's like
no. They're the Rainmen, okay? They're the fucking Rainmen. All right.
You saying he makes it rain?
No, it's a soft ass name, right? Oh no, we're the Rainmen, yay! No, it's soft because they soft. That entire crew is soft. Everyone's soft. You got 4 motherfuckers in the ring. Hey, okay, I get it. If you wanted to throw a curveball, because you threw a curveball at us for the League of Nations. You did. You just threw, because still, to this very day, sure. I am trying my damnedest. I'm trying to figure out how the hell Alberto Del Rio was recruited for this. I mean, was there something on .com, something on the YouTube page, a shot backstage with them talking that I don't know about? Like, that just exists? Because for him to just show up in that League of Nations just like, yo, what's up?
He probably re-signed and they don't want to piss him off again.
No, I'm talking about in storyline.
Oh, well.
I'm talking about in storyline.
Of course,
what is his motivation?
But I think that would all be forgiven because I definitely think he makes the group stronger.
No, he doesn't.
No. As Del Rio, as far as work rate is...
No, but we're not talking about this. We're talking about the cannibalization of your upper mid-card heels.
Del Rio's multiple-time world champion. Like
I know this.
So I don't think he's enough. Like,
but he's still not taken seriously. He shows up.
I was going to say something. I think it definitely makes the group stronger. But the way they have booked him ever since he came back, and the way they booked this ever since they came back, since he's joined the team, and how they booked this team is a joke. The only time they won was when they were with the New Day. Ever since then, they wrestled on SmackDown. They lost
to Roman by himself. And tonight, yeah, they made it all the way to the final two. But then Sheamus lost to Roman Reigns, and then throughout the night, I mean, Del Rio. I mean, we'll get to it, but Del Rio eventually trips over a scooter. I mean. Like when Del Rio came out and beat him with the chairs, that should have been the end of the segment. I don't know why they had to make something. I don't know, but they went into the match. It's
sure.
16
right after commercial break. Yeah, and they've done this several times.
When Michael Cole said it, I think it was the longest title I've ever heard of any match of all time. The 16-man single elimination fatal 4-way tag team match, and I was like, what? Again, I'm gonna read this. 16-man single elimination fatal 4-way tag team match. And I just went, what the fuck? Did you really? Oh no.
Okay, why couldn't that have been the main event?
Because they're trying to load everything, trying to load the cart. They're trying to load the cart.
Maybe not even later on in the show, like this. Maybe I don't know. They
had an hour. They had an hour before Monday Night Football. You got a little bit of time. You got 30 minutes.
I just think that I get what they were trying to do, and I definitely like it a lot better than a 20-minute promo. But I think this just waters everyone down. I think you could have definitely done it as 3-on-3 and not had Roman, not had Dean, not had Rhino, and not had Bray, and that would have been a perfect opening match. But then the way they did it was 4 men were legal in the ring at one time, but if one guy got pinned, the whole team was gone, and it was just like, okay, like if you're doing this to if you're making this big of a match, you should have it elimination. You should have tons of pins, make it last an hour and a fucking half. You should never just I don't know, go all the way, make it like elimination, do all types of crazy shit.
I hated this
because what they did other than that was have that main event segment, which I feel like if they made it elimination, that would have just taken up all that time that they used in the main event segment.
We'll get to that main event.
We'll get to that.
But so check this shit out.
Yeah.
I just when the Rainmen showed up, I knew when they were going to do the match, and I go, these guys are just going to win anyway. And it was a damn shame because the first people on the scene are the Wyatts, and I would have been like, you know what, just to have fun with the crowd. It's not like Team Extreme versus Team Wyatts is like this big of a deal of a fucking feud anyway. If it's oh, we're still tough guys. You think you're tough? We're tough guys. It's a big dick contest. Who has the biggest dick, all right? Let it be the Wyatts versus them. See who has the biggest dick. It's not one babyface beating each other up. They could have done 1 for 1 and 1 for 1. They could have done something just for the crowd to have fun with. Not everyone. And then have Roman Reigns be the victor. That's it. So points in the match. The big tree spot with Strowman.
Yeah, it was the Usos were about to do a double suplex off the top rope to Rhino, but then Strowman came in, picked them both up, and powerbombed both of them, flipping Rhino over, and then falling on Dreamer.
Yes, falling on Dreamer.
Yeah, so
Dreamer gets the Dreamer drop in on Rowan. So the first guys that showed up to fight are the first ones eliminated, which I thought was pretty pissy, but it gave Dreamer a pin where later on that's gonna be something entirely different, because this is Dreamer's first. Is this his today? Later would have been his first singles, but this is his first pin, right? Since coming back.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he's doing house shows. I didn't watch SmackDown.
No, I'm talking about on Raw.
Sure, yeah.
I think it's his first.
But how about this? How about he's I'm not sure, but no one really knows. But he's technically still signed to TNA. He was like a road agent or a writer or something in TNA up until a few weeks ago. They don't know if he got released. They don't know anything. They don't know if maybe he got told it was okay, because they said Kevin Nash did that for the Royal Rumble one year. but he's technically still with TNA, and plus he owns his own promotion. He wears the shirt House of Hardcore. So this guy might be on WWE, TNA, and own his own promotion. So big ups to Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, he probably has.
Man of the Year.
Yeah, Man of the Year. Sportsman of the Year. Get on it, time. And another cool spot was when Rhino and Reigns were in the ring together at once. And the crowd reacted to that. That was pretty cool.
The crowd kind of reacted a little bit, but I thought, like, for that moment, I thought people would pick up on it, and they could have maybe done something, I thought, maybe with have, like, two smaller guys come in the ring and have them both gore each other and then go back to the stare down to even build it a little more. But I thought, like, it happened so quick that the crowd couldn't react as much as it was. But
yeah. I think because Rhino turned around too soon. I think it was a botched moment where I think Rhino kind of got ahead of himself. I think they was about to back up into each other and sort of like turn around and like, oh shit. And then I think the crowd would have reacted to that.
Sure,
the intensity of that. But then the last part of this match that really got my attention was the arm breaker that was applied onto Roman Reigns. Now, all I could think was, okay, he applied the arm breaker. And then I see Jimmy Uso going to the top rope. I'm like, oh, he's about to jump maybe on the side of Del Rio or something to make him break it. No, he didn't. He actually jumps on top of the arm breaker. I was like, what are you doing? You're trying to rip that dude's arm in half? Like, watch it again. He lands on the arm and just bent back. And I'm like, it really blew me away. I'm like, that's real smart, fucking Jimmy Uso. That's real smart. Whichever one it was, he must have been Jay. Is he the dumb one? Is he the slow one?
I know Jay was the one that normally gets beat up for the hot tag.
But that scared me. I was like, he's not going to jump on the arm.
Sure, yeah. I feel like this was an exciting match for the live crowd. I feel like it was an exciting match to watch. But as far as getting you, I mean, like, you know, let's get a little, like, you know, in there. What are you going to do after this? Like, this, like, really took, I think, the crowd out of it. And we also saw Roman Reigns pin Sheamus. So they wrestled once on Raw last week. They were involved in a tag team match on the
4-on-1.
No. They were involved in a tag team match later that night on Raw, and then they were in a 4-on-1 match on SmackDown, and then they were in a tag match to open Raw. So this is literally 4 times in 8 days they've wrestled. Why the fuck do I give a shit if they wrestle?
Yeah.
And wait, there's still more. There's still SmackDown.
And Reigns wins them all.
Yeah.
You just want to give Bill. Let's stack the odds against this guy and just have him win. Like as soon as we stack the cards.
Well, I think Reigns won 2, Sheamus has won 2, and they also wrestled last pay-per-view. So this is like,
and Bully Reigns too. I think there was a moment in. Was it this week?
This week.
It was this week.
Yeah, Sheamus was beating on Jey Uso fairly, like as a wrestler would, and then Rose just comes in and blindsides him. Yeah, I'm glad you made mention of that because I completely forgot.
That was hilarious. I was like, what? Because he's like, man, fuck this, and he walks in. I was like,
and they're like, hothead Reigns. I was like, yeah, he's a fucking hothead. Like,
he's Bully Reigns. He's Bully Reigns. It's the shades of Sheamus versus the Hall of Pain. And that double turn because Sheamus made Mark Henry's life a living hell. Like, he just was bullying him the whole time.
Yeah.
Arm wrestle. Like, he would just jack him. It's like, what? Damn, Sheamus, you're a jerk. I can't root on you. And this is Bully Reigns.
Yeah, they took 3D, and then they went for the what's up, but then they Del Rio kicked Bubba. Bro kick for Bubba, Sheamus pins Bully, and then it goes down to the Reigns men and the League of Nations, and then Reigns does.
He hits him with the spear. LOL.
This is
40 minutes long.
I think it was a great way to kick off Raw.
It was not a great way to kick off Raw.
Well, hold on. I think it was better than the promos. It was a very exciting way to kick off Raw. But knowing what we were going to trickle down to the last few minutes being, I think that you could have maybe gotten 2 matches out of this by like what you were kind of saying. Maybe have a Luke Harper versus Rusev and then build to this match as the main event. Have this be the last 40 minutes so everyone that happens to channel service, everyone who happens to turn in maybe builds up. Instead of what they
knew as soon as that shit was going down, as soon as I saw like everyone walking out, I was like, oh God, it's going to be a long night. They got nothing.
Yeah.
At first, that's the first thing I thought. They got nothing. They got absolutely nothing.
And it showed in a little bit, and I'll mention that. But
it wore out the crowd. What did you think about the SmackDown commercials?
Yeah, I was gonna get.
People are bitching about the SmackDown commercials.
I mean, it's a fucking. It's a show that is just moving networks. It doesn't have to be that big of a deal. I think to make it funny is probably the best way to do it.
But I think everyone was talking about. I think most people were focusing on the peeling back of the curtain, and that like, okay, you're putting these guys in these situations where they shouldn't be. We can't take them serious. And I go, that's where it is now. I mean,
they've been doing this kind of commercial to promote like the pay-per-views on if you like watch the pay-per-view channels, like after a UFC fight or after a boxing fight, these will play like these little joke things like that. So they've been doing this kind of style for years, and it's. I mean, humor has worked for him before. But
I think the difference is back in those days, the writing. I mean, the writing was good, and when it came and everyone was serious, you actually, whenever you saw these kind of like offshoot commercials that kind of took them, you was like, "Oh, that's pretty funny." Mm-hmm. But this overly sports entertainment where nothing's taken seriously. And now we're gonna make commercials where they're not even more taken seriously. Mm. Where it's like this, it's too much. Like, how much of this curtain are you gonna peel back? How much are you gonna make us not look at these guys at a certain, in a certain light? Like, okay, they're sports entertainers. We're not to take them serious. Now we get these commercials. We're not supposed to take them serious. When do we ever take them serious? And I like the commercials for what they were, especially
because if you watch all the UFC, the new USA television shows, which is pretty much what they're trying to promote SmackDown as, it's kind of like that. It's like lighthearted, just to get the characters over, which I think that's what they were shooting to do. I think people are taking it a bit too seriously. Yeah. I really do.
But the two that stood out to me, I thought were pretty funny, was the receptionist with the Wyatt family. Yeah. That was funny. And Roman Reigns versus a cardboard box, WrestleMania 32. He couldn't wrestle himself out of a fucking cardboard box. That's the only thing I could really come up with. I don't know, you know what I'm talking about? It's like the last one they showed. Oh. When he's like with one of those folding cardboard boxes. And he just can't get it right. And he fucking just slams it and leaves.
Oh, well.
I tweeted, I was like, Roman can't wrestle. He can't wrestle himself out of a cardboard box. Talk about irony.
Yeah. Can't talk his way out of a fucking
cardboard box either.
Yeah, fuck, man. But then we go, Sheamus in the back.
Yeah, let's try to speed through these.
Yeah, Sheamus in the back, whatever. He pretty much says it's not going to happen on Sunday.
He was pissed off, which was pretty awesome.
Yes.
Best moment of the night, honestly.
Dude, I kind of... After
him being mad.
After what I saw Roman Reigns do, I think I'm gonna say it. Sheamus carried this feud throughout this night.
It's the first time since having the belt that he's actually been upset. He's been but no, he's pissed off and he's like, I'm gonna teach this motherfucker a lesson.
And then we have Stardust promo when Titus O'Neil comes in. I don't really get this segment, but I think Titus O'Neil did a good job explaining it for what it's worth.
Later on, yeah.
Yeah, later. But then we really saw how the crowd died in the first segment, because this match was, I mean, for all intents and purposes, just as good as any other time we've seen.
About Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens?
Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens, Tyler Breeze and Summer Rae at ringside. I feel like it was just as good as any other time you see Ziggler when he's been super hot. Owens is super hot,
You say Ziggler's super hot now?
Ziggler was, it was just as good of a match as when we've seen Ziggler be super hot. And I feel like Kevin Owens is just as hot. It
was long.
It's hot now, yeah. It was real long, and I think what made it seem long was because the crowd was dead. What if you started with this match and then maybe went in, maybe in the second hour, build, so you can have a little build, so then the show maybe does like a hill instead of like starts and goes down, or maybe builds upward. Maybe you can do a hill. Maybe just a suggestion.
The only thing that pissed me off is that you got Owens going over on Dolph Ziggler,
yeah, it was real long.
A guy who has a match scheduled for the next thing.
Dolph Ziggler?
Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, I think they're facing each other at TLC.
It wasn't on the website as of this afternoon.
Yeah, okay. But I'm saying in general, like the writing's on the wall that they have a match. What was it? Selfie steak match.
I mean, Owens is the IC champion, and he's wrestling Dean, who was he's a pretty prominent character on Raw.
No, but Dolph has a feud with the motherfucker that's sitting right outside, and he's looking at him like, dude, you just lost. He's like, what? You mean to tell me?
I feel like that and Stardust versus Titus O'Neil is fighting for the pre-show match.
Oh my god! Like, why is Dolph losing this match? I mean, if you want to involve this and get this hot and heavy for the pay-per-view, I mean, at least let's have Tyler and Ambrose kind of go in simultaneously and kind of throw the match for both of them. But to just see all of a sudden them playing on the whole concussion thing again with Dolph, because he started doing the headbutts and he started getting woozy playing off the concussion thing that he had versus Del Rio. I was just like, oh, don't go there. And then he loses clean. 1, 2, 3. What? No cheating, no nothing from Owens, no nothing. And I go, oh my God, what just happened? And then he can't even bask in his own victory because Dean Ambrose, who's in the back eating popcorn, comes out with the popcorn, comes out with the soda, and he just tosses it in Kevin Owens' face and walks off. And I'm like, well, damn. Where's the heel heat here?
I think, yeah, that was kind of like just like Bully Reigns. This is Bully Dean. Like
Bully Dean.
Like you're out there doing your job. You just finished up with your work day, and then someone just comes and shits on you.
Come and throws fucking popcorn in your face.
I see what you're saying, man. I didn't really think. I think I was just watching it, kind of like zoning.
You were high.
I was watching it, and I was just watching it, and then so I didn't really I didn't take it all in. But yeah, this was kind of just like.
He's like, "Where's my music? Where's my music, bro? What the fuck? Could someone please play my music?"
Yeah, I think I don't have a problem with Owens beating Ziggler, but yeah,
I do.
Dean just coming out randomly and just throwing, just hitting, just being rude as fuck for no reason. This face, like I could totally see. What if they did? They could have done Dean versus Ziggler, and then Owens distracts Dean. You could do tons of stuff. We could get into it, but yeah. But
here's the thing:
they're not doing a really good job exciting me for this pay-per-view because of these convoluted storylines.
And something I heard listening to the Torch, and this guy called in. And he's like, "Man, I don't see how Dean Ambrose could even come close to beating Kevin Owens right now because he's not focused. He's so unfocused. He's more focused on being the cheerleader of Roman Reigns and whatever storyline he has backing him up against the League of Mid-Carders, that his eye is off the ball that he actually has a match for the Intercontinental belt, right? Makes sense. So, is he focused?
I think Kevin Owens is going to win. So I think that this is just, they saw like, oh fuck, we don't have a match for Kevin Owens.
No,
they give him Dean.
Well, he won, but Dean won the number one contendership in like a battle royal.
Oh well, I don't.
That's how he won it.
I mean, maybe Dean's not focused, but I think that's.
Let's just say in storyline, right?
Sure.
Let's look at for what it is. Like you said, the convoluted storylines. One of the things is, oh, by the way, you have a title match, bro, but you're out here with your boy Roman, that you're so focused on what Roman's doing that your eye is off the ball to what's important, which is your title match.
Well,
own title match.
Well, Dean beat Owens at Survivor Series in the tournament, so I think what they're going to do, Dean might be unfocused, maybe be a little cocky. And I think maybe Owens is going to get him.
He's a little too supportive.
And then I think we're going to see it. I think we're going to see the feud like a come in like a. Owens and Dean are going to zero in on each other. I feel like this is a good feud. I think we can see this feud go a few pay-per-views, even to like maybe like a hardcore match.
No, I don't see it happen. I don't see
anywhere
it.
In the building style match.
Don't see it. I don't see it happening because he's so caught up in Roman Reigns' life.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I'm saying? It's weird. He's so caught up, and it's like, so you mean to tell me everything falls to the wayside while you go by your boy? It's like, all right, at some point that's going to wear thin because as much support that you have of this guy, and whenever the big matches come, you fail. It's like, I'm putting my life aside to help you succeed, but you keep dropping the ball. What's your fucking problem? And say, like I said, it looked like it could be like, his very similar to his feud with Bray Wyatt a year ago or 2 years ago. But yeah, the storylines and the way everything's turning out is like, no, everything lacks direction. Everything lacks a linear direction. In this match, the upcoming pay-per-view, the Tyler Breeze, Dolph Ziggler, it's no direction whatsoever. It's like, it's all fucked up.
We go and we have a Wyatt family promo.
Strowman wants to squeeze Tommy Dreamer. He's had dreams about squeezing Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah.
What?
Let Bray talk.
I just want him to say nerds once. I just want him to say nerds. Nerds! That's all I want to hear him say. He looks like Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds. I just want him to hear. That's all I want to hear him say.
We had after that we had Neville in the back trying to be recruited by Miz, and then Donnie Deutsch showed up. He's apparently going to be on USA. Do you know who this motherfucker is?
Oh, the Donnie Show.
Do you know that?
It's USA. It's a show about like a talk show host or some shit.
Oh, I don't know who this guy is. So good to be.
And it's the lead-in. Raw is the lead-in to this show.
Yeah, I know that. That's been going on for a while. But I thought maybe he was famous doing something else.
Nah, I don't.
It's like a talk show.
No. It's a show about a guy that does a talk show. And he's just an awkward old white man, basically trying to be hip.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, that's whatever. And then we have Sasha and Naomi versus Brie and Fox. This was an alright little match. Naomi wins with the rear view, but they play Sasha's music, not Naomi's music at the end, even though Naomi took the pinfall. So I don't know, maybe that might be a little me looking in too much. But
no,
whatever.
because they've been playing. I think you're looking into it.
But no, then the New Day come out.
Tamina is the hero in here because she's doing what she does best, not being in the ring. She's out there earning her money, man, and I think she was a major factor in Team Bad winning. Now again, you look at Team Bad and you look at Naomi and you look at Sasha Banks, two women whose athleticism and wrestling ability is really good. I like Alicia Fox. I think Alicia Fox is better than both of them because she.
You think that Alicia Fox?
Oh, we're not going there.
No,
we're not going there. I'm just saying. I believe.
No, I was just asking. You're saying that Alicia Fox is better than Naomi and Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think she's more seasoned. She's a seasoned vet. You know what I'm saying? She's in there. She knows what the fuck she's doing. But once you think about it, she's outnumbered. So if you take Sasha and Naomi together, yeah, they can out-wrestle her just because of the numbers game. Just she can be overwhelmed. But they choose to cheat. They choose to cheat. That's what keeps a heel a heel. And that's one thing they got going with Team Bad right. As good as they are, they want to cheat to win. That's what separates the heels from the faces. To me, in my eyes, moving forward. But what I was about to say. Yeah, but that's about it. I mean, as long as Tamina stays out, be the heavy, just kicks the shit out of people and not be in matches, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it works out well. I agree.